All right, we are moving on to our love segment. Parenting adventures and heartstrings. I should probably play the intro thing between these things, but all right. All right, we are moving on to our love segment. Parenting adventures and heartstrings. Raising kids is a wild ride full of early mornings, tough conversations, and those little decisions that shape big bonds. To get us started, let's talk about balancing structure with flexibility in family life. How do we support our kids' independence while keeping things real, relaxed, and also achieving your goals as a parent, or helping your children achieve their goals? I suppose would be a, a different way to say it. We're from the times where children were expected to achieve the goals of their parents. That has actually shifted, which is probably on balance a good thing. But I think it has also left a lot of more children directionless than they were before. So it is. How do you balance that? How do you balance giving kids a goal, a life goal, with making sure you don't impose a life goal?
Well, wouldn't you work on the skills that are going to need in life?
Yeah, but sure, if you want your thought, if your goal for your child is to become a doctor, you're going to present him opportunities that are going to lead him likely down that path. Same way if you want your child to be a professional athlete, right? They do all these kind of things to make sure that they have all the opportunities that they need to become whatever professional athlete they want to be. To extremes, right? What normal people would say to extremes.
To extremes.
And the same thing. Remember the tiger mama phenomenon of 15, 20 years ago it was now?
What was that?
The tiger moms.
What were they?
Oh, they were essentially the yuppies of the mother things. They were just literally tiger moms. Their children, helicopter parents on steroids. It's a better way to explain it. You might understand the helicopter parent thing. Their children were going to be a success, and they were going to have everything, and they were going to make sure that happened through any means necessary.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so how do you balance, balancing that is the trick. How do you not go too far? How do you not go far enough? Not going far enough is easy. You just don't have to do anything. It's the easiest thing on the planet. How do you not go too far?
For you.
Well,
do nothing.
Sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. The trick with that is knowing when that is. I'm just saying, it's not always the right thing. You can get it wrong just like everything else. So, I don't know. How do you do it? I don't think there's a direct answer to how to do it. You just have to be aware of the same things you always are, right? I don't think there's no trick, sadly, to keeping things balanced. Just kind of being aware, self-awareness, making sure you spend time looking in the mirror type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you on that one. All right, so what do we got?
Okay. A 14-year-old girl wants to wake up at 3:45 a.m. for the bus. Now she's getting ready. She has to shower, do her hair, makeups, pick the outfit, which of course takes,
So she's going to bed at what? 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
So what do you care? Seriously.
She's not bothering the family. She's quiet.
Yeah, as long as she's getting enough sleep, then I don't worry about it. You let them manage themselves. That's how they're learning to manage themselves. You monitor them for sleep, making sure she's getting enough sleep, which means in this case she's going to bed early enough.
Mm-hmm.
But if she wants to take a long time to get ready in the morning, then she's one of those people who takes a long time to get ready in the morning. She's a morning person. I don't understand them, but I respect that they exist.
Well, I have turned out to be somewhat of a morning
Yeah,
person.
but you'll change at some point again. So it's just, I don't know when it will be, but it'll happen. So, but she's a morning person, let her be.
Yeah.
Same way as if they're a night owl person, right? You let them be as much as possible. Make sure they get enough sleep is the major concern. She's not hurting herself, really. You could be concerned about 14-year-olds and too much makeup and all that stuff, but I suspect she learned it from somewhere. So apples don't fall from the tree kind of thing. And her mom probably spends a lot of time getting ready.
You think so?
That's why she does it then. So she can get it in. She needs time in the bathroom, right? Once mom's up, bathroom is taken. So let her be. As long as she's getting enough sleep, I'm going to stand on that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, as long as she's getting enough sleep.
She needs to figure out, what works for her. And at 14, she's figuring out how to handle her mornings. Huzzah.
Yeah. And it'll change. So
it will change. It won't always be like this. Oh, heavens, no.
Yeah.
It could change in tomorrow.
It could change by the time this gets edited and aired. So so I'm just going to back to as long as she's getting sleep and it's not really impacting the rest, her grades and all that stuff. Let it ride. Okay.
Okay. My kid's teacher smokes in class, vape. Now, her 6-year-old little boy saw someone vaping and said, teacher does that in class.
Teachers shouldn't be doing that in class, but it's also not such a big deal. So I don't know how I feel about this. This is one of those I probably should have read the question beforehand because it's good. I'll likely change my mind 3 or 4 times before I settle on something on this thing.
Okay.
If they were teenagers, high schoolers, I wouldn't worry about it. You'd want to smack the teacher upside the back of the head and go, "What are you thinking?" But it's not a big deal, right? You're dealing with first graders, kindergartners, first graders. Well, that's a different thing. Yes, they're going to see people vaping out in the world. Their older brother, cousin, or whatever likely vapes. They know what it is, or they will soon. But as the teacher, you're supposed to be set an example. At least during work hours.
Try to put on the facade, please.
During work. I'm not asking you not to, on your breaks. I get it. Teachers have a hard time. They don't get the same breaks the rest of us do.
Do you remember walking by the teacher's lounge and someone would open the door and the smoke would roll out?
Yeah, people don't understand. We're from the days where we could smoke in school, right? There was a smoking area.
There was a smoking area for students. Yeah.
We're old enough. I'm just old enough. I think that ended when I was a senior.
I was the last class.
Yeah, I think we were the last groups for lots of things. And so, yeah. But still, I don't know. I see. Part of me says, okay, the responsible human adult thing to do would be to you call and I don't complain to the school, right? Theoretically, but God, that sounds like just a punk bitch ass. Sorry, I'm still a teenager at heart. Then.
Well, somebody has to have a conversation here, hon.
I know.
You realize that?
Yeah, I know. But man, yeah, my science teacher, it's just not a manly conversation. So have your wife do it, I guess. I just can't. Really, I just doesn't seem like something I could complain about.
How about I'm concerned about something?
If this is what you have spouses for, so the other one can do it in this particular case. This is the one. Yeah. Let their mother deal with it. There's my answer. Let their mother deal with it. A mother would not be writing in. She'd have already been dealing with it. So this is a guy trying to figure out. Let their mother deal with it.
You guys dip out.
No, we just choose the better tool for the job.
You can go with us when we go to the school.
No, because then you guys aren't as real as you would be otherwise. We need the full you, and that doesn't happen if we're around. Moderate yourselves when we're around.
Well, we don't want you to know how really crazy we are.
Yeah, but that's the time where we need the crazy person. So just telling you the right tools for the job. That's all we're saying. Okay, so that did not answer the question, but hey, we got
that's the best we got.
That's the best we got for you, for whatever reason. Okay.
Should I take my daughter's best friend with us to St. Bart's? She's 11.
Well, you can, especially if it's a lifetime opportunity for that child. You have the resources, that it's not a big deal. Maybe you do, or at least you offer it.
Yeah.
There is benefits. Now there's benefits in it, right? It's an added child of responsibility, but then the child has someone else to spend time with, and you don't have to hyper watch them all the time.
Yeah.
They're 11, where they can kind of manage themselves. But you are going to have to deal with, homesickness and those various things, and everybody's going to have to be prepared for that. So I'm assuming that if they're even contemplating it, it's not just a best friend. They've got a relationship with this young lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're perfectly fine. Their families at least get along.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it happens. It's not uncommon. We don't hear about it a lot, where families. We used to take our Anthony's friend camping with us when we go up camping. Kids would bring a friend all the time.
Yeah.
So that's a little different than going to St. Bart's, but 2 hours up the mountain. This is a little different than St. Bart's, but St. Bart's can be a once in a lifetime opportunity for a child that may not have the resources for it to ever get that opportunity. And, if you have a good relationship with the child, and maybe the family's just as well off, right? Maybe they live in the same gated community and they all have the same money, and it's not an issue of money. It's just an issue of
being responsible for another child.
Right.
Yeah.
But, life experiences away from your family are important as well. So
they are. They're very enriching.
Yeah, everybody can learn a lot. So without knowing a lot of detail, it's hard to say yes or no. But if you're considering it, strongly consider it. Give it a real thought. But work through everything. Make sure everybody understands, that you're going to have to deal with homesickness and all these various issues. And walk through those before you do these things. Right? Make sure if you're going to do it, make sure everybody understands that these things will come up. Walk through all the things that you think you can think of that will come up, because they will. 11-year-old girls will have a falling out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
There will be homesickness. There will be, right? It's just going to happen. And so you've got to accept these beforehand. So, okay.
Are any other parents just vibing it? Relaxed parenting. Apparently, this is a new thing.
No, that was called gentle parenting before.
No, they're against the gentle parenting.
Okay. All right, that's good because that gentle parenting was the dumbest thing on earth. We don't tell our children no. What kind of little hellion you raising? Children need to understand no for all kinds of reasons.
Well, they felt it was maudlin, overly emotional.
But
gentle parenting.
Yes, it was overly emotional. Well, it never taught their children how to manage their emotions. Right? The stern no and quit crying. I'm going to give you a reason to cry. Gives them a motivation to learn how to manage their emotions. Doesn't seem logical, but it is. It works for centuries, and we decided to abandon that. And yeah, it didn't work out too well because now you got a bunch of young adults who don't know how to manage their emotions yet. It's hard to do even when you've learned how to do it, and they haven't even tried to have to do it. So apparently, if it's got a name, vibing parenting or relaxed parenting, then my guess is it's gone something back. It's trying to work its way back to how people like I was raised, where there is some guidance, but there's also a lot of freedom returned.
Yeah.
Where you actually get the opportunity to learn how to be a human being on your own. And yeah, there's consequences to that. Stupid should hurt because then you stop being stupid. It's just, you learn not to do dumb things. How? By hurting yourself. Generally how it works. Someone can tell you to not do dumb things all the time, but until you actually do it, you're not going to understand that, oh yeah, that's stupid.
I shouldn't do that.
Yeah. So I could always bring up my kids used to jump off the roof until one of them kneed themselves in the face. And guess what? They all stopped jumping off the roof. I told them not to jump off the roof. You're eventually going to hurt yourselves. I'm not going to stop you, but go ahead. Yeah. Eventually one of them kneed themselves in the face. And guess what? They all stopped jumping off the roof.
Yeah, you were just vibing it.
Sometimes you got to learn lessons the hard way. Luckily, it wasn't a harder lesson because, that knee had been a different spot and they could have been in trouble. But they weren't. And they all learned a valuable lesson that day. So we learned our lessons, is it not?
Well,
is it not?
Kind of.
How many lessons did you learn that way?
All of them. And I made some up.
So, yeah. I learned a lot of lessons that way. So, I'm just saying, it's not the end of the world. So, apparently, it's a thing. So, yeah, sure. Lots of other parents are doing it. There's the answer to the question. All right, what's next?
My 10-year-old kid told me that I shouldn't have had kids. And it's a girl. There's a little girl who's 10.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't have had children.
There's a reason that Mean Girls movie exists, right? She was just mad at you, and for whatever reason.
She probably heard it somewhere.
I mean, it's not the most original insult there.
And what do you care what a 10-year-old says?
Yeah, what do you care what an overly emotional 10-year-old says? Yeah.
Come talk to me when you're 40. Get out of here.
I would. Or you can give them the answer. Well, maybe I shouldn't have.
No, just go ahead and mess with their head.
Give them the answer they don't want. That's.
You're right.
I agree with you today. There's all kinds of answers to that one. Or you can give the one, that's nice, honey. Just pat them on the head. That's nice. Send them on their way. So yeah, the least response. For whatever reason, she's angry at you and she's lashing out. And the way to do that is to not be hurt by an 10-year-old.
She was devastated.
Yeah.
She cried. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. She's mad because you set these things called boundaries. And and you have ruined her life by, telling her no. And
yes.
Yeah, I'll guarantee you this is you are so mean. Yeah. But that's why you pat them on the head. That's nice, honey. And you send them on their way. Let them, what you do. So, all right, what's next?
Do your kids usually eat what you pack for lunch?
Well, kind of depends.
Depends on what you pack.
What you pack, they might trade it for something else. Kids do that.
And they might be having
schools hate
pizza that day.
Yeah, schools hate when you pack lunch because then they trade it with their friends, and it makes schools upset these days.
It does?
Yeah, allergies.
Oh.
Because schools get all wonky. Even if you just bring your own lunch, they get all wonky. So it's not like when we were in school where 3/4 of the class brought their own lunches, and almost everybody eats school lunches now. This packing school lunches thing, it doesn't happen, at least not in cities. It might happen in small rural schools, probably a lot, I would suspect. But yeah, sadly, kids are better off when they could trade amongst some friends and, but taught them the value of certain things, taught them value. Yeah, just did. That's pure capitalism right there. I've got Twinkies. I want something, so what can I sell my Twinkies for?
Homemade chocolate chip cookies.
and a can of soda. Sweet, right? Well, whatever it is. Okay. What do we have next?
Looking for advice on leaving my daughter home alone. She's 9. I wouldn't. Why are you leaving a 9-year-old at home?
I don't know. We were left at home at 9.
I was, and I was so scared.
Well, I'm going to say how long. I mean, you're talking about for a long period of time, when you're talking about why you ran to this corner store and they're playing a video game. I mean, or are they just getting home from school 20 minutes before you do? These are the kind of details that actually, I wouldn't leave a 9-year-old home alone long.
Mm-hmm.
But 9-year-old is, depending upon the 9-year-old, right? It's at the edge of the age whether you can, depending upon the 9-year-old, might be responsible enough to be left alone. Depending upon the 9-year-old, right? Some 9-year-olds, they're not even close to being able to be left alone, right? Other 9-year-olds are responsible enough to babysit kids if you really needed them to. There's that variation. That's the age variation, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and 9's kind of right at that borderline-ish type thing. I know we're latchkey kids, so I've got a vast, we walked home, in the 3rd grade. You go home, you make yourself some cereal, or sit down and watch cartoons, and heat up your TV dinners. And mom gets home just before they're done. And yeah. I'm the TV dinner generation, man. It's just, we had to use the oven to cook those things. So we even knew how to use the oven at 10 years old.
Well, that's a life skill, I feel. Yeah.
Still, but again, I had the opportunity to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
to read the back of the box because the different things were different. You have to follow instructions if you want to eat dinner. So I don't know. In the modern era, 9 does seem a little young. For those of us who were left alone at 9, it doesn't. I remember being left alone at 9. No, I don't remember any trauma because of it.
I was scared. And we were in a farm, an old hunting shed. It is what it used to have been, and it was the only thing my mom could afford in Ohio in the winter, and I had to walk through snow to my friend's house, her farmhouse, and because we would catch the bus from right there.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just a dumb boy and wasn't smart enough to be scared. Of course, we had a nice, safe concrete house and all that kind of stuff. My childhood was fine. So, I don't, I can't go. It was fine. It wasn't great. Wasn't terrible. It was fine.
My sister remembers from our childhood
What's that?
being cold.
Well, yeah, Ohio in the winter. We'll remember it'd be cold. Yeah. All right, that's it. That's a wrap on our love segment. It's always a reminder of how love shows up in the everyday, and you can find us wherever you need to. And you guys know how to look up latenightLove.us and find us. You can also find us at love. You can also send us your questions, love@latenightLove.us. The other one. Thanks for listening. Have a good night. And please remember to love everybody. I've got to get the right.
Good night.